Unfortunately, drug and alcohol abuse and addiction are a part of our modern society. Either directly or indirectly, you've probably been in contact with people who struggle with drugs and alcohol. Drug and alcohol abuse is also a problem in many workplaces in the U.S. It may well even be an issue at your school. Drug use, abuse, or addiction among employees can cause serious and expensive problems for the school district, including low employee morale, lost productivity, absenteeism, theft, exposure to students, injuries, increased workers' compensation costs, and legal liabilities. Studies show that nearly 75% of adult illicit drug and alcohol users are employed. The same studies show that substance abusing employees are more likely than non abusers to change jobs frequently, be late to or absent from work, be less productive, be involved in a workplace accident, and file a workers' compensation claim. The Drug Free Workplace Act of 1988 was put into law to protect the health and safety of workers and the general public from the harmful effects of drug and alcohol use in the workplace, including your schools. The Drug Free Workplace Act of 1988 applies to any school that receives federal funding. According to the Act, your school must meet the following requirements: publish and provide a drug-free workplace policy to all employees. This policy should inform them that it is unlawful to manufacture, distribute, or possess a controlled substance in the workplace. It must also specify the actions that will be taken against employees who violate the policy. Establish a drug-free awareness program that covers the dangers of drug abuse in the workplace, the policy of maintaining a drug-free workplace, any available drug counseling, rehabilitation, and employee assistance programs, and the penalties that may be imposed for violations of the drug-free workplace policy. Inform any contracted employee as a condition of employment on a federal contract or grant that the employee must abide by the terms of the district's policy statement, as well as notify the employer within 5 business days if he or she is convicted of a criminal drug violation in the workplace. Notifying the contracting entity within 10 days after receiving notice of a covered employee being convicted of a criminal drug violation in the workplace. Imposing a penalty or require participation in a drug abuse assistance or rehabilitation program by any employee who is convicted of a reportable workplace drug offense. And making an ongoing good faith effort to maintain a drug-free workplace by meeting all requirements of the Act. The policy must be given to employees at the time of hire, annually, and whenever any major changes are made. The purpose of the policy is to emphasize to employees that drug and alcohol use is not permitted in the workplace, and to encourage employees with drug and alcohol problems to seek help. The policy must also clearly state the consequences of violation. Those include termination of employment, possible legal charges, and the need to enroll in drug abuse programs. People use drugs and alcohol for 3 main reasons: experimentation, social or recreational reasons, and for stress relief. This type of use is most likely to lead to abuse or addiction. Substance abuse is the use of drugs or alcohol to control your mood or state of mind in a manner that is illegal or harmful to you and those around you. People can abuse drugs or alcohol without being addicted to them. Addiction occurs when drug and alcohol use can't be controlled regardless of its adverse consequences. For 1 in 10 people, substance abuse leads to addiction. Addiction is chronic and it never goes away. It is progressive and gets worse over time. It is disguised and addicts will hide their behavior and frequently deny their problems. And lastly, it is destructive. It causes increasing problems in 1 or more areas of your life. Let's look at some signs of substance abuse. People with substance abuse problems can demonstrate emotional behaviors such as aggression, anxiety, depression, denial, paranoia. People with these substance abuse problems can also demonstrate behaviors such as irritability, excessive talking, short attention span, slow reaction time, slurred speech, poor coordination, or lack of motivation. And people with substance abuse problems can exhibit the following physical symptoms as well: weight loss, sweating, chills, smell of alcohol, sudden skin problem, and a general lack of attention to personal hygiene and grooming. Let's look at a few of the most commonly abused drugs. Alcohol is a legal drug, but it is a depressant and the most commonly abused drug. Specific signs of alcohol abuse include reduced mental ability, poor coordination, slowed reaction time, and bad judgment. Some of the health effects of alcohol abuse include liver disease, cancer risk, kidney disease, ulcers, poor sexual function, as well as birth defects. The use of marijuana is very common in today's society. Specific signs of marijuana use include elevated heart rate, bloodshot eyes, extreme dry mouth, and an increased appetite. Some of the health effects of marijuana use are reduced memory and comprehension, altered senses, a poor sense of time, respiratory and sinus infection, and a weakened immune system. The most commonly abused prescription and over-the-counter drugs are opiate painkillers, anti-anxiety medications, sedatives, and stimulants. Some of the signs of prescription and over-the-counter drug abuse include stealing, forging, or selling prescriptions, excessive mood swings, change in sleep habits, poor decision-making, and appearing to be extremely energetic or sedated. Some of the health effects from prescription drug abuse include depression, low blood pressure, constipation, and poor coordination with opioids, drowsiness, dizziness, and confusion with anti-anxieties and sedatives, weight loss, insomnia, high blood pressure, and irregular heartbeat with stimulants. Heroin is a cheap opiate used to produce a downer effect that rapidly induces feelings of relaxation and euphoria. Some signs and symptoms of abuse include droopy appearance as if extremities are heavy, poor physical hygiene, stealing or borrowing money more frequently. Some of the health effects from heroin abuse include heart problems, infectious diseases spread by shared needles, chronic pneumonia, blood clots and tissue damage caused by collapsed veins, liver disease, seizures, and even death. Cocaine and stimulants, such as methamphetamine, are powerfully addictive drugs that lead to physical and psychological dependence. Signs of cocaine and stimulant abuse include dilated pupils, elevated heart rate, high blood pressure, hallucinations, insomnia, mood swings, frantic activity followed by fatigue, and poor concentration. The health effects of cocaine and stimulants include a weakened immune system, respiratory problems, heart problems, headaches, tremors, weight loss, increased dental disease known as meth mouth, and even death. So what exactly is your role as an employee when it comes to stopping substance abuse on the job? There are proactive steps that you can take to help make your school a safe, drug-free workplace. Don't enable the abuser. Enabling behaviors include picking up the slack where others fail, lying for an abuser to cover up their mistakes, or avoiding the abuser altogether. Report suspected abuse to a supervisor. When you're aware that another employee is abusing drugs or alcohol, it is important that you inform your supervisor of your concerns. Additionally, it is important that you protect your coworkers' privacy. So please do not discuss your concerns with other employees unless their safety or health is in danger. What if you are the employee with the abuse problem? Seek help for your abuse issues. Your life depends on it. Your school and the entire district are concerned for the health and safety of every employee, including you. If you report the problem to your administrator, they can arrange for some help. Some good sources of assistance on your own, though, include our employee assistance programs, community hotlines, various treatment centers, Alcoholics Anonymous, and Narcotics Anonymous. Supervisors and administrators have an important role to play regarding drug or alcohol abuse in the workplace. Some basic responsibilities that a supervisor has in keeping the workplace drug-free include maintaining a safe and productive work environment for all employees, evaluating job performance and giving feedback to employees, and treating employees fairly and with respect. However, supervisors and administrators are not expected to diagnose drug or alcohol problems, provide drug and alcohol counseling, or act as a police officer in any manner. As an employee, we must be comfortable taking our concerns to our administrators. This will allow them the opportunity to evaluate the situation and decide if this is a performance problem or a crisis situation. Performance problems. If you suspect that an employee has a drug or alcohol problem affecting his or her work, an administrator should invite the person to have a private discussion, being sure to ask the employee about their behavior and inform them of the concerns. Crisis situation. Obviously, crisis situations are more serious than performance problems. Some crisis situations include dangerous or threatening behavior, obvious impairment due to drugs or alcohol, drug or alcohol possession, or other illegal activities. In a crisis situation, you should immediately contact the next level of administration. A crisis situation may also require contacting the police or school security. Be sure to document all of the observed behavior.